Hi, my name's Natalie Venezia, and for this therapeutic craft report, I decided to craft a mosaic bottle. Last summer, I was given all the supplies I needed for this activity by a woman that I worked with. She just gave me milk crates filled with sheets and sheets of the tools, all the required materials, everything for this project. I did have to go buy silicone glue and grout, but other than that, I had everything on hand. And the goal of the craft is this image on the right, just a glass bottle. I could put a light inside, put it on a light, just have something to decorate my house. Objects and their properties. As you could see in these photos, those sheets of glass were my stained glass. That clear handled tool is my oiled filled glass cutter, and that'll be used to do the scoring. And the running pliers will be used to do the actual cutting of the different small pieces. For space demands, I did this project outside on a round table using a piece of plywood, maybe 2 feet by 1 foot. I used that to do most of my work on, just to protect the table. Sorry for the mumbo jumbo of that table in the picture. It's kind of a mess. I did all the work outside, and so I worked on it mostly during the day so then I could see what I was doing. As far as social and cultural demands, I did a lot of projects with my mom growing up in the summer times, and so kind of the smell of the grout and the different glue and stuff brought me back to that. So it was definitely like a nice cultural activity for me, bringing me back to time with my mom, and it was a nice project to do. As well, socially, this could be a social activity, and it could have been for me, but I didn't have enough time just blocked out to teach my friends, or I kind of did it at random times of the day, so I didn't make this a social activity this time around. Sequence and timing. First off, the cutting took way longer than I thought it was going to, so I'd say maybe 50 to 75% of my time spent on this project was just cutting and scoring the glass. To cut and score it, first I would score it with that silver or the clear roller, and so on that top left photo you could see that line down the glass. That just makes it so that you could take the green pliers right there, line it up, you put enough pressure and it snaps it right on that line, or it should, right on that line. And then you do it the other way to get some rectangle or square pieces, and then diagonal if you want triangles. Pretty much up to you. As far as gluing, I used silicone glue. So in that left photo, just put a little squirt of that glue and stuck them on kind of randomly, but kind of in a nice organized kind of geometric pattern on my glass bottle. For the grout, I used extra tie-dye, leftover tie-dye, and I dyed my white grout pink, and then using a sponge, I just rubbed that grout into the cracks and wiped as much off as I could, and then once it dried, I used vinegar and warm water to take off the residue that was left on the glass. As far as performance patterns, this project fit pretty well into my daily routine. I have a lot of art projects that I have going on often, and so I usually wake up, have my coffee, turn on some music, start working on a project, or if I don't have time in the morning, I'll go to work, come back, work on a project for a little bit longer. So it fit pretty much perfectly into my daily routine and my personal performance patterns. Pretty much the same. For client factors, for body structure, I used arms and my eyesight for the entire project. Arms and hand movements were pretty essential. To do the cutting, to do the lifting of the glass, choosing, reaching all the pieces. And then eyesight so that you could choose the colors. Also, I used my eyesight to prevent injury because I was working with glass, working with tools, doing that precise cutting and gluing. The 2 essential body functions for this project included specific mental functions and movement functions to complete this within the given time frame. I had to have sustaining and shifting divided attention and concentration. That's something from our fundamentals. And that was to be able to glue, cut, grout each piece. Additionally, because cutting and scoring glass included the use of sharp hazardous objects, it was important to have control of voluntary movement, including eye coordination, hand-eye coordination, fine motor control, and oculomotor function. That's something from our fundamentals as well, and I found that very important to have during this project. Performance skills, it needed lifting, motor skills, gripping those tools, and processing skills, choosing, gathering, all those materials. Those were very important parts. Safety hazards, since you were working with glass, or I was working with glass, having those safety goggles was definitely needed, and I used them the entire time. Gloves were important during the grouting process, but they kind of got cut up with the glass. But goggles were the most important. Grading down, you didn't have to lift the entire milk crate. That was kind of a heavy project, heavy process of it. And so you could just pick out one at a time, just one sheet at a time. And then grading up, I used triangle pieces up in that top bit. And that was way harder than cutting squares. So that could make the project a little bit more difficult. This could definitely be a therapeutic project. It needed patience and attention. I think it really focused on health and wellness, just having time, putting your phone down, being outside, listening to music, being with your own thoughts. It tested your physical capacity, so being outside, being able to have something that you can show that you did. This could be something with role competence, showing that you can have something physical that you made that you could see. Also supporting that mental health and social participation if you wanted it to. Definitely a very fun social activity for people to participate in. It could definitely be very therapeutic. Here are my references. Thank you so much.